You are listening to Housekeepers Chat by the United States Department of Agriculture from 1927. Disclaimer: this is read from a historic archive document. Do not assume content reflects current scientific knowledge, policies, or practices.
This broadcast was aired on Monday, the 14th of February of 1927.
Today's program is for those who are concerned with the important task of feeding children as a part of their problem of feeding the family. Approved by the United States Bureau of Home Economics. Welcome to the Homemaker Show, where useful tips and recipes flow. From Aunt Sammy with love so true, and the Department of Agriculture too. Gather round and take a seat. We've got everything you need to eat. Practical info for your home. Recipes to keep you strong. For your family, day and night. We'll guide you right with all our might.
Billy rushed home from school Friday afternoon, very much excited. I heard him shout the minute the kitchen door banged behind him. "Hey, Aunt Sammy, where are you?" "Upstairs. What's the matter?" "Nothing's the matter. I've been promoted to high first, Aunt Sammy. Aren't you glad?" "Of course. Were all the little boys and girls in your grade promoted?" Since there was no answer to my question, I hurried downstairs to find Billy gazing at a platter of animal cookies. "Gee," said Billy, "did you make these for me?" "Sure." "'Cause you knew I'd be promoted to high first?" "I had an idea you would be promoted." "Well, said Billy, almost overcome by the extra attention. "I thank you lots for the cookies. Maybe I could help you set the table if you want me to." "That would be splendid," I agreed. "And after dinner, we'll read another chapter of The Little Lame Prince." "But you didn't answer my question. Were all the children in your room promoted?" "No," said Billy. "Toothpicks wasn't promoted." "Who is Toothpicks?" He's a kid. We call Toothpicks because he's so skinny. He's bow-legged, too. You know what, Aunt Sammy?" said Billy very seriously. "I believe Toothpicks is dumb. He's scared of everything. He cries if a dog barks at him. We won't let him be a member of our gang because he's dumb. Honest, Aunt Sammy, he is." Billy's blue eyes looked very honest indeed as he told me about Toothpicks. I believe the child sensed, in a vague way, the tragedy of Toothpicks, who couldn't be a member of the gang because he was dumb, which, in modern childhood parlance, means queer or peculiar. On my desk was a late number of a magazine devoted to dietetics and nutrition. On page 12 is a picture of 3 boys, all the same age, 8 years old. Perhaps you saw the picture yourself. The boy in the center is a sturdy child, holding his arms outstretched. On each side of him, under his arms, stands a pale, undernourished child, stunted because of poor diet. The picture tells the story, plainly enough. "Look here, Billy," I said. "Do you see Toothpicks in this picture?"
"Yes,"
said Billy.
"He looks like the little tiny kid, this one. Gee, he looks sad. What's the matter with him?"
The lecture I gave 6-year-old Billy was far from scientific, but I think he learned something from it. For that evening, after I had finished another chapter of The Little Lame Prince, Billy was quite serious. For Billy.
"Aunt Sammy,"
said he.
Wouldn't it be nice if Toothpicks had a fairy godmother like the little lame princes? Then he could fly away on his magic cloak, where no one would ever make fun of his skinny bow legs."
I didn't tell Billy, but I thought to myself that what Toothpick needs is a modern mother who knows something about the importance of proper nutrition for growing children. Aren't you surprised sometimes at the indifference of some mothers to proper food habits? "Yes, of course," his mother says. "Bobby is pale and his baby teeth are badly decayed." But then his mother's teeth are bad too. Seems to run in the family. John may have dark circles under his eyes and be unable to keep up with his class in school. Betty is tired most of the time, but then Betty's just made that way, thinks Betty's mother. But a child health specialist might think otherwise. Of course, some physical defects and mental quirks are inherited, but many are the results of the food a child eats during his growing period. Do you know that the United States has more food and better food than any other nation? Our pure food laws and sanitary methods of handling food supplies are world famous. However, along with our efforts to safeguard health through food control, we need to develop better food habits and decrease the alarmingly high percentage of poorly nourished children. For the undernourished child does not have a fair start. Everything is harder for him. His body may outgrow some of the visible signs of poor nutrition, but others not so apparent remain. His resistance is likely to be lowered, so that he catches diseases easily. Faulty mental habits cling to him, and in countless other ways he is handicapped through life. I am not going to enumerate the signs of poor nutrition again, but you all know what they are. Some or all of the signs of poor nutrition are found in a large percentage of the preschool and school children of the United States today. By making accurate studies of school children, nutrition specialists have found out that a child's efficiency in school, his promotion, and his retardation seem to have a very close relationship to the amount and kind of food he eats. In other words, the nutrition of the child is reflected by what he does or by what he is able to do in school. In the midst of plenty, thousands of American children are not getting the foods they need for the highest development of mind and body. For instance, a child's bowlegs may be due to a lack of calcium and phosphorus in his food. Crooked legs and bad teeth in children are usually caused by an insufficient amount of these minerals in their diet. A pint of milk a day will provide 3/4 of the calcium and half the phosphorus that a child needs. Vegetables also supply minerals. If rightly chosen, vegetables will furnish 7% of the calcium and 10% of the phosphorus needed by a child. Vegetables differ a lot in the amount of minerals they contain, but if, in addition to potatoes, children eat spinach, Swiss chard, dandelion greens, celery, and carrots, the necessary minerals will be supplied. The addition of 1 egg a day to the child's diet also helps considerably in furnishing minerals, and fruits are important sources of calcium and phosphorus. Most everybody knows the value of such fruits as oranges and prunes in a child's diet. Other foods important for their minerals are whole grain cereals, such as oatmeal and graham bread. There are 6 different kinds of foods that growing children should eat every day: milk, eggs, vegetables, fruit, whole grain cereals, and butter or cream. Every normal child should have at least a pint of milk in each day's ration. Of course, many children want more and can take it without leaving out other essentials. Under these circumstances, they ought to have more than a pint a day. Eggs are important because they supply the iron, which is lacking in the milk. Model bills of fare for children include eggs, or a little meat or fish. Fruit should be included in 2 meals out of 3. This is a good rule to keep in mind all the time. Fresh fruit is best juice or pulp for very young children. If fresh fruit is not available, dried fruit may be used at 1 meal and either a little tomato juice or a raw green vegetable like lettuce in the other. These foods are called the watchdogs of the diet. They help to keep off disease. Besides the foods I've mentioned, the child's daily diet should include foods which have enough bulk to prevent constipation. That is, foods which supply roughage. Among these foods which supply roughage are potatoes and whole grain cereal foods or whole wheat bread. And don't forget that at least 1 meal a day there should be some vegetable besides potatoes. One more food is needed by the children, and that's butter, or cream. Butterfat contains the vitamins which stimulate growth. If your child is getting all 6 of the foods I mentioned in his daily diet, he is getting the things needed for his normal development. And the 6 different kinds of foods, I'll repeat them, are milk, eggs, vegetables, fruit, whole grain cereals, and butter or cream. Now, I am going to read you a sample bill of fare for a child of 5. Of course, there are any number of other bills of fare, which are just as good, but this one, which has been worked out by child health specialists, may help you in planning meals for small children. For breakfast, this bill of fare includes a baked apple, whole grain cereal mush, a half pint of milk, or more if wanted, bread and butter. For dinner, a boiled potato, creamed codfish, string beans, bread, butter, cup custard, and a cookie. And for supper, a half pint of milk, or more if wanted, whole wheat bread, and date marmalade. If you are interested in the subject of proper food for children and planning meals, I wish you'd write to me. I can send you some printed information which is reliable and practical. That makes me think of something I was told to broadcast to all my radio friends. While I was planning this program, Luella, who keeps check on the cookbooks, came in and registered a complaint. She has about 25 letters, all from people who want the cookbook, but every single one of the writers forgot to sign her address. Of course, I feel rather flattered to think that 25 people are so enthusiastic about the cookbooks that they forget to sign their addresses when they write, but Luella takes an entirely different view of the matter. So, to keep her in good humor, I'll have to ask you to write your addresses plainly. Perhaps you'd better print your name and address, and then I am sure there'll be no trouble. Just one more word before I leave. You need not send money or stamps for cookbooks, or for free bulletins from the U.S. Department of Agriculture.
From the kitchen to the floor, we'll help you handle every chore. With a smile, and helping hand, making life both sweet and grand.
Gather round and take a seat.
We've got everything you need to eat. Practical info for your home. Recipes to keep you strong. For your family, day and night. We'll guide you right with all our might.
This broadcast was researched and produced by BreakAway Empire LLC.